Sorry.
There you go. How you doing,
Sorry
bud?
about that. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I spoke to Briar. He said you were just getting back from practice.
Yeah, it's my bad for being a couple minutes late, but
Don't worry about it. I was just wanting to make sure that nothing happened.
oh no.
I've learned in hockey that the anything and everything can happen is on your way home from practice. So just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
So look, I really wanted to thank you for your time. I didn't want to keep you too long, maybe 15, max 20 minutes.
Okay.
So yeah, just it's been a pretty wild, I would say, 6 months for you since we last spoke. So you signed your entry level contract, strong end to the season, World Junior Championships, and now you've had a really strong start to the season. So I just wanted to get your take on how you've been just kind of handling all these different kinds of stop and go situations this year.
Yeah. The past 6 months has been like pretty crazy for me. A lot of things that happened. I'm very, very busy. But I just try to stay focused on my end goal, which is playing in the NHL. So all these like little things, like not little things, but like World Juniors and like the Q season, like the start and finish. I try to work hard every day to just try to get to an end goal because I know the things I do now will help me later on in the future. So I just try to keep that in my mind and just keep working hard every day.
Yeah, well, it's one thing to be like the go-to guy on your Q team, which you have been for the Titans for over 2 years, 3 years now. But when you go to a situation where you're surrounded by the best players in the world in your age group, like the World Juniors, and you're kind of used in the 13th forward situation, like how did you adapt to that, and what did you take away from that situation?
Yeah. When I got there, I kind of knew I'd be in that situation. So I just try to stay positive. I think trying to stay positive was the biggest thing, especially when you're around the best players in the world for my age. It was special to be around, to watch some of the top guys there, and learn from them was great. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is try to stay positive, because no one wants a negative teammate. So that's what the coaches and that's what my agent, that's what everyone told me. Just stay positive, keep working hard, and your turn will come. So through its form, I try to stay positive, and I know if I did that and help the team in any way, then it also helped me play for the next World Juniors in Halifax. So that's what I thought too.
I was just about to mention the fact the World Juniors are in your hometown,
Yeah,
and so in the Maritimes, a returnee for Team Canada, and it's usually like when you have a strong draft class like Canada had in 2022, the question is, will everyone be back? But the start to the season that you're having has been almost a confirmation that you should not only be part of the decision making process, but you should be part of the team.
yeah.
What's motivating you right now to be on that team and to basically represent your country? If I'm not mistaken, it would be at the
Yeah,
Scotia
Scotiabank
Place.
Center. Yeah,
There
yeah,
you go. Yeah. So smack dab right in the middle of where the Mooseheads used to play
yeah,
or still play.
yeah. Yeah, it would be special. Like it's probably what every kid dreams of, play for Team Canada, and especially in your hometown too. It makes it even better in front of all my family and friends, and it would kind of be just like a dream come true. So that's like the biggest motivation. Just like that type of thing is like once in a lifetime. Not
Yeah.
many guys get to experience it, so just having that like to think of just keeps me motivated every day, and just try to get a bigger role for the team this year too. So yeah, that keeps me motivated every day.
Yeah, well, I mean, and you're not going to be the only Montreal Canadiens prospect involved in that selection process. Joshua Roy is obviously kind of going to do his own thing on the wing, but you'll also have Owen Beck kind of in that mix as well. So it goes well, but at the same time, you've been kind of handling your business in the queue. We've been following closely, and you know, points are points, and that's fine, but it's how you go about making those points. Right now,
Yeah,
you account for over 44% of your team's offense.
yeah,
So I'm not going to shower you with like MVP, but at the same time, there's only a handful of players in the entire league that equate for more of
Yeah.
their team's offense. And I think one of them plays for Halifax
Yeah.
in Jordan Dumais. So, what have you done this year to maintain your scoring punch? Because you are trending again for 100 points, but it's not the same cast of players. Like Clark MacArthur's turned pro, Tourigny's turned pro, Lapierre's turned pro. So what have you done different this year to maintain your pace?
I just try to just keep playing my game. Going in the year, I knew it would be like a different group of guys. We have a younger team this year. So I knew this year, I just kind of have to focus on just kind of, I wouldn't say being more individual, but just kind of taking it into my hands. Like me and Melanson too, like Jacob
Yeah.
Melanson, Ben Allison, they helped me a lot. Like they're great line mates. So yeah, just before the start of the year, I knew we would have a bit of a weaker team this year. So I just try to just play my game, play with more confidence. I'm 19 years, my fourth year in the league. So I think confidence is the biggest key, and just the fact like I got 100 points last year, so I know that I can do that now, and I know I can even do better, like better than that. So that's also like a big motivation too.
Yeah, once you hit a cap, it's a dual-sided sword. You know
Yeah,
you can do it, but now you know you have to do it, right? So
yeah,
it's kind of like
yeah,
that little balance. But obviously, like I said, with the way that things are going, you mentioned it, the team might be a little weaker this year. You had expectations going to the season of how things would turn out. One of the big things that happens in junior, especially when you're high drafted player, like first, second round, going internationally, represent your country. Usually when you come back from the World Juniors, you don't wind up playing from the same team.
yeah.
Have you thought about that possibility at all?
Yeah. There's been a lot of talk. I kind of realized it too. Bathurst is probably looking more of a rebuild. My last year in the league, I'm hoping to play for a team that has a chance to win the Memorial Cup. That's my goal. But it's talky. Like anything can happen. So
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not really 100 sure like what will happen. But if I get traded or anything, it'll be it'll be good playing on a contender. But also last 4 years in Bathurst I spent. So it'll be a big, probably a bit of emotional thing leaving here. But yeah, I guess we got to see till after then to see what happens.
Yeah, well, I mean, I remember the last time we spoke, you had told me about when you went to go watch Nick Suzuki in the Memorial Cup.
Yeah,
And, he went through the same thing. He played for Owen Sound for 4 years and then got traded to Guelph
yeah,
and then just took off, right?
yeah,
It's kind of that same situation. I was actually making the joke with friends, like how funny would it be that you get to represent Canada in Halifax in front of
yeah,
family, and then you don't wind up leaving because Halifax trades for you.
yeah. That'd be pretty
Like
special.
there's situations like that, especially with the way the Maritime Division is
Yeah,
working, and they could use the forward help. So
yeah,
those kinds of situations are always fun, but again, it allows you to show everybody what you can do, right? And I
yeah.
think that
Exactly.
that's kind of the next platform I want to get to
Yeah,
is showing people what you can do, because we know about the passing game. I mean, assist machine, but this year you're
yeah,
scoring more goals. And I wanted to get to that aspect because even during rookie camp and Canadians training camp, we noticed you shooting a little bit more. So is that something that you've been conscious of and that you've added to your game, or is it something that has kind of just flowed naturally with confidence?
yeah. This off season, me and my agent talked, and he mentioned to me that being more of a shooter, like a dual threat passer and shooters, is what you need in the next level. Even this level too, when you're going, like for example, going down 2-1, the defender knows you usually pass. He can play you better, but I think just being like kind of a dual threat, like being able to shoot, like score and make the pass too is really important at the next level. So like if I can't score more than 30 goals in the queue, then I can't imagine how like if I can score more than 20 goals in the NHL or anything like that. So I really thought a lot about that, and I had like I wanted to add that to my game to be a scorer, because scoring goals is fun. I think everyone enjoys that. So I this year I've brought in just shooting the puck more, getting the puck on net, and creating more chances that way.
Yeah, and that's something I've noticed in the visualizations that I've had of your game so far this season. When I spoke to MacArthur last year, he had mentioned how like passer shooter dynamic it was for you. And so like you had your trigger man. And so this year you don't necessarily have the 50 goal scorer, although you do have two teammates that are
Yeah.
in the double digits in goals nonetheless, but you don't have that top of the league goal scorer. So
Yeah.
how has the team dynamic changed, and what have you done to kind of adapt? Because obviously shooting more is one thing, but offensive
Yeah.
chance generation is a little bit more than just shots. What have you
Yeah.
changed up on your line, I would say, to generate that offense?
I just think like Montreal told me in the offseason too, like I need to work on attacking the middle. So this
Yeah.
year so far I've worked on like I've having the puck in the wall, trying to attack the middle and be in the middle of the ice instead of on the outside all the time. So I think just the attack mentality I've had for the start of the year to try to bring it to the middle and just create stuff from in the middle of the ice is always more dangerous than the outside. So I really think just the attack mentality of taking to the middle, using my body, and trying to get the shot off is like the biggest thing. That's one thing Montreal told me that like I should work on and improve. So I've been trying to do that.
I'd like to maybe expand on that a little bit because we've spoken to a few of the prospects that went to training camp over the last week, and they've all kind of said what Montreal's developmental staff and potentially even general manager Kent Hughes has told them. So attacking the middle was one thing. Was there anything else that they had pointed to in terms of looking to improve your game?
Yeah. This one big thing they said is just play with like, higher pace, like an NHL level pace. Like in camp, the pace of play is way faster than the Q. So they said like once you come back down to the Q, try to play at the same pace as you would in NHL because it just will prepare you even more for the pro level. So just playing with pace, that's probably the biggest thing. And also, like they mentioned, like something I knew for a while, just like get faster and get stronger too.
Yeah, definitely like the physical
Yeah,
strength. I could definitely see that.
yeah,
But I mean, that also kind of comes with time
yeah,
and work in the gym. I mean,
yeah,
even when you get to when you turn pro, like say, most prospects will end up playing in Laval. You'll
yeah,
have the week to train and then games on Friday, Saturday.
yeah,
So
yeah. It
so
works out
I
well.
guess exactly. And you'll have that kind of that time because there is kind of going to be a hierarchy now.
Yeah,
Um, but in your time, because you did sign after the Titans were eliminated from the playoffs, you did sign kind of a pro tryout to go to Laval.
yeah.
What did you think of the atmosphere of the Laval Rocket in the playoffs?
It was crazy. Like the rink, it was, it was like probably one of the last rinks I've ever been in. It was a great like learning experience for me too to be around pro guys for the first time and just see like the pro level like in games and stuff, how fast it is and how big the guys are. So kind of I learned some of the things there, like how important it is, like how I need to get bigger and faster. But it was the atmosphere in that Laval was crazy in playoffs. It was like a whiteout every night, like sold out for every game. So it was special to be there and special to be around it.
Yeah, I mean, I was in the media lounge just watching the games, and like I got goosebumps watching the lady at center ice playing that violin at the
Yeah,
beginning. Like
yeah,
that was even for me. Like I've gone to like Montreal Canadiens like heated playoff games, and even that to me was like chills. So
yeah.
uh I mean, there's also the opportunity of eventually getting to the pro level, playing in Laval, playing at Montreal. What do you think, or how far do you think you are from being able to play an everyday game at the pro level?
Yeah. I think just like tough to really say like timeline, but obviously I know I still need to get bigger and faster. That comes with a bit of time. So it's tough to put in like a certain timeline, but like my ultimate goal is maybe next year play in Laval, and then the year after try to I don't know
Push.
knock right on the door, push for a spot. Like that's my personal goal, but obviously I know if I want to do that, I need to improve some big things with like my body and on the ice too.
one of the things that you did last year was really kind of improve at playing center
Yeah,
overall, right? Like your face-offs gradually improved throughout the season, and this season you're averaging over 50%.
yeah,
But at training camp, we saw you playing center and right wing.
yeah.
So do you have qualms about playing either wing or center? And have the Canadians mentioned anything to you about where they foresee you playing in the future?
Yeah, obviously, I prefer center. I've been playing center my whole life, but also in the NHL on a team there's only four centers, so it's a lot tougher to crack one of those roles. So like obviously center is my first, but I think being able to play winger too is just another thing you can add to your game, which makes you more useful, more chance to get into the lineup. So I in the pro level. I think if I know how to play wing too, it'll help me a lot. But Montreal hasn't really said too much, but they told me like if I like want to play in the NHL on an everyday basis, you might have to learn how to play the wing and just like keep working on center. But like learning how to play the wing like definitely won't hurt you. So
Yeah, it's always easier for a center to move to the wing than the other way
yeah,
around.
yeah,
Montreal learned that the hard way over the last 10 years.
yeah.
So it's I won't keep you too long. I just had another couple of questions. This is a question that we ask every single prospect. All the fans basically need to know this, but you were in Montreal twice in a matter of 2 months. Did you manage to get your hands on any poutine while you were here?
No, I actually didn't get any chance, but that's one thing I kind of realized when I left I didn't do. So maybe next time when I'm there, I can get one.
I strongly recommend, especially if you're in the Laval area. There's some
Yeah,
good
yeah,
ones. So just ask, they will show you.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
And then the other thing I wanted to ask was development camp. When it's not every day that you go to development camp and it's more packed in the side glass
Yeah,
than most junior games.
yeah,
How did you feel just stepping on the ice and looking at that?
yeah. Like when I stepped in the ice, I like before I didn't really expect anyone to be watching, just like the Montreal staff. But when I got out and I seen all the fans there, just to watch that it was cool. It was like special to have all the like see it to see how like dedicated all the fans are and how much they love it. So it was very cool seeing that.
Yeah, I mean, like everyone was really excited, just had the draft, all
Yeah,
the kids together at once for the first time, I believe, in a couple of years now.
yeah,
So it was an exciting time for everyone. But the players that I've spoken to have really kind of exuded that excitement.
yeah,
They're kind of like, okay, well, if this is just practice,
yeah, exactly.
what's a game going to feel like?
Yeah,
And then you played in front of fans in certain situations. So if I'm not mistaken, did you play at the Bell Center? I'm pretty sure
yeah.
you did.
I played against Winnipeg there.
There you go. Yeah, because I was at that game. I remember spotting your number, and you know that was just a preseason game, and that crowd was pretty
Yeah,
loud. Like, how did
yeah.
you take that in?
Um, like when it got the third period and the game got close and tight,
Yeah,
it was like I was like on the bench thinking I was like, this is only a preseason game and it's already like super loud. It's, the rink's buzzing. I can't imagine like what a regular season game or even like a playoff game's like. Like when I was there, like when after the game, I was just like kind of like wow, like that was preseason game and it was crazy. So it was really special to be there and just like I said, like see how much the fans really love the game and how loud and kind of crazy the building gets. So I think just playing there, like I was after I played the game, I was it was great. It was a kind of like a dream come true playing in front of an NHL crowd. So it was great and just very special to me.
and then the last time we spoke, you had mentioned that since being drafted, you had thought about just like picking up a few words in French. Have you succeeded?
Uh, I haven't yet. I've taken a French course. So I'm hoping to learn a couple, but I haven't learned much yet.
It's all good, man. You
Yeah,
got lots of time, but
yeah,
uh definitely the bonjour and merci beaucoup will get
yeah,
you
yeah.
like a standing ovation. I tell you this right away.
Okay.
All right. Well, look, I won't keep you too much longer. The last question we wanted to I guess get from you is, have you been following the team as of late?
Yes, I have been.
And what are your impressions about, the team and because you obviously had some time to deal with him. What were your impressions of Martin St. Louis?
Yeah. First, the team. I think they've been playing well lately. Like I think they're in a wild card spot, and
Yeah.
watch like Suzuki, Caulfield. They're doing really well, and same as Kirby Doc. So it looks like the future looks bright in Montreal. I guess a lot of like great players there, and just being around them in training camp was special to see too. But yeah, like being around Marty St. Louis, like it was great. Like every speech he did, it was like it was so like interesting. Like you need like he's the type of guy when he speaks, like you want to listen, like you want to learn from him. He just seems like such a kind of like a great guy, like just like a natural leader, I guess. Like when he speaks, everyone listens. So yeah, it was great being around him. Great, like learning some stuff from him. So it was all around like a great experience.
Yeah, I could tell you that when we're in the media room and he talks, like even we listen. It's
Yeah,
just kind of like, what's he gonna say next? Like, what
yeah,
are we about to learn?
yeah,
But yeah, no, I get
exactly.
you. Well, look, thank you very much for your time. I think like it's been very informative. I know you got a
Yeah.
big season ahead of you, and I believe you should probably. Is there a selection camp this year for Team Canada?
Yes, I think I don't know when it's announced, but I think I've heard the tournament might start like not tournament, the camp like December
The
8th
camp,
maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Usually you end up having to be released by your team by the first week of
Yeah.
December.
Yeah.
All
Exactly.
right. And so I hope, and we definitely, the fan base will hope that
Yeah.
you get to represent the Maple Leaf in your hometown. I
Yeah.
wish you the best of luck for the rest of the season, and hopefully we get to run into each other either in Laval this spring or at training camp again next year.
Yeah. Exactly. Thanks a lot.
You have a good day, Riley.
Yeah. You too.